Listen closely. Have you ever asked yourself, what could I truly accomplish if my own mind stopped ruling over me? How many times have you realized that the toughest battle isn't against the world outside, but against the voice inside, in your head? There are mornings when you don't even want to leave your bed, days when learning something new feels like a burden. You try to quit a bad habit, but you fail. You lose your temper. You can't stay focused. You procrastinate, and by the end of the day, you sit there regretting, once again, I lost to myself. Why does this keep happening? The answer lies in your mind. And this isn't just about theory. It's about awakening, seeing the truth, and reclaiming control. Because the one who masters the mind holds the power to conquer the world. Centuries ago, the Buddha taught, the mind is everything, what you think you become. Now imagine if your thoughts keep repeating, I'm weak, I can't do it, I can't focus. Eventually, those thoughts become your reality. That's the most dangerous trick of the mind. The mind behaves like a restless monkey, always jumping around, sometimes worrying about the future, sometimes stuck in regrets from the past. You sit down to work, and suddenly your mind drags you back to an old mistake, a hidden fear, a painful memory. Your body is still, but your mind is wandering far away. Do you see it? Yet this same wandering mind has the power to make you extraordinary if you learn to understand it and give it direction. The mind doesn't actually know what's good or bad. It simply repeats whatever you feed it most often. If every day you tell yourself, I'm useless, my luck is bad, I don't feel like doing anything, your mind will replay that belief until it becomes your truth. But the time has come to change that, to study your mind, expose its tricks, and take back control. Psychologists tell us that 95% of our decisions are made by the subconscious. That means most of what we think, feel, and choose every day happens outside our awareness. And yet, it is that hidden force steering the direction of our lives. If you don't train your mind, it will quietly take you somewhere you never intended to go. And until you master it, no goal, no relationship, no achievement will ever bring you lasting fulfillment. To truly live fully, the very first thing you need is stability of mind. Modern science confirms what ancient wisdom has always said. You become what you think. Every negative thought you repeat wires itself into your brain until it becomes part of your identity. So pause for a moment and ask yourself, are you the master of your mind, or has your mind been mastering you? That's the question that sets the stage for everything. Because unless you can answer it for yourself, no outside knowledge, no motivational talk, no method will ever truly work. In this video, we'll uncover the secret that reveals what it really means to conquer the mind and how any ordinary person can awaken the extraordinary power within. But remember, this isn't a one-day effort. It's not a quick trick. It's an ongoing exercise, a journey, a daily battle. Yet once you understand how this battle works, victory is inevitable. This is where the true journey begins. We'll explore 5 of the most powerful methods to take control of the mind, methods that won't just shift your thoughts, but could redirect the entire course of your life. The very first method is positive self-talk. Think about it. How many times have you said to yourself, I can't do this, I always mess things up, success isn't meant for me? If that sounds familiar, then today might just be a turning point in your life. Because the person you talk to the most every single day isn't your friends, your family, or your boss. It's yourself. And those conversations quietly shape your future. What you plant in your mind is what you eventually become. This isn't just some motivational slogan. It's a fact supported by both science and timeless spiritual wisdom. Positive self-talk is not a small habit. It is a direct conversation with your soul. If you keep repeating things like, I'm weak, everything bad always happens to me, I'll never figure it out, your subconscious mind will start to accept those words as truth. Slowly, Those thoughts solidify into habits. Those habits shape your mindset, and eventually your future begins to mirror that belief. Psychologists have proven that the subconscious records everything you say to yourself. If you constantly repeat, "I will fail," you'll begin to think like a failure. But if you keep affirming, "I can do this, I can learn, I believe in myself," your brain will rewire itself to act in alignment with those beliefs. This kind of self-talk doesn't just strengthen your confidence, it directly impacts your energy, your actions, and even your body itself. It's the first foundation stone in the journey of mastering your mind. Your energy, your choices, even the way you see the world, all of it is shaped by your mind. Long ago, the Buddha said, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." And today, modern science agrees. Positive self-talk doesn't just lift your mood, it literally rewires your brain, creating new neural pathways. Every time you speak uplifting words to yourself, you open the door to new possibilities. So how exactly do you practice positive self-talk? First, start your morning with a single sentence that sets the tone for the entire day. As soon as you wake up, say, "I am better today than I was yesterday, and I'm moving forward every single day." These small intentional words shape the direction of your day before anything else can. Second, whenever a task feels overwhelming, don't tell yourself, "I can't do this." Instead say, "This is a challenge, and I choose to see it as an opportunity to grow." With that shift, fear begins to fade, and courage quietly takes its place. Third, when you stumble or make a mistake, resist the urge to curse yourself. In that very moment, tell yourself, "I'm learning. My mistakes do not define me." This kind of self-acceptance lifts the weight of guilt and allows you to move forward, lighter and stronger. Remember, no real success can exist until you believe in yourself, and that belief begins with how you speak to yourself. But let's be clear, positive self-talk does not mean lying to yourself or pretending everything is perfect. It means facing the truth with honesty, then choosing to frame it in a way that builds you up instead of tearing you down. If you notice a weakness, tell yourself, "Yes, this is something I struggle with, but I can get better." That one thought alone is enough to push you to a higher level each day. Here's a simple exercise to anchor this habit before you go to bed. Say 3 positive things to yourself. It could be as simple as, "Today I worked on myself. I'm moving forward. I love and accept myself." They may sound small, but these small acts plant the seeds of victory in the inner battle you fight each day. The Buddha once said, "Happiness depends upon our thoughts. If your inner voice is filled with negativity, then every part of life will feel heavy and hopeless. But when you fill your mind with positivity, even your hardest challenges begin to feel manageable." And remember, what we've just covered is only the first method, the very beginning of mastering the mind. The journey goes deeper, and now we move to the second method, one that will bring stability, clarity, and depth to your thinking. The second method is goal setting. Have you ever wondered why your mind drifts so easily? Why you start projects but abandon them halfway? Why one moment you're stuck in memories of the past, and the next you're lost in worries about the future? The deeper reason behind this restlessness is simple lack of direction. When your mind doesn't know where it's heading, it wanders endlessly. But when it has a clear destination, it begins to align itself with purpose. A mind without direction is like a wild horse running full speed across an open field, but with no destination. That's why one of the most powerful ways to master your mind is through goal setting. Clear, realistic, and inspiring goals. When a person defines the purpose of their life, the mind naturally becomes disciplined. The Buddha once explained it with a simple image. If an archer fires an arrow, he first knows where the target island. In the same way, if you want your life to move forward with purpose, you must first know exactly what you're aiming for. This isn't just spiritual wisdom, it's confirmed by modern psychology. Psychologists tell us that when you set clear goals, your brain creates a focal point. This focal point drives your thoughts, your planning, and your actions in one unified direction. Think of it like GPS. Unless you type in a destination, the system won't guide you anywhere. And without goals, your mind can take you anywhere, or worse, nowhere, you actually want to go. Here's where it gets fascinating. Your brain has a special mechanism called the reticular activating system, RAS for short. This system filters the flood of information around you and only highlights what's relevant to your goals. For example, if you decide I want to become a writer, suddenly you'll start noticing books, writing workshops, and opportunities that you never paid attention to before. That's not magic, it's your brain aligning itself with your chosen destination. But here's the catch, your goals must be clear and specific. Too often, people set huge but vague goals that overwhelm the mind. Saying I want to be successful sounds good, but it's meaningless to your brain. Instead, say, I will write my first book in the next 6 months, or I will launch my small business within a year. Specific goals give your mind something solid to hold on to. There's another hidden benefit. Goals don't just give your mind direction, they actually fuel your emotions. When you set a goal and imagine achieving it, your brain releases dopamine, the chemical of motivation, joy, and drive. In other words, goals don't just guide your mind, they energize it. Now, is one single goal enough? The answer is no. You need goals at different levels, long-term, medium-term, and short-term. Why? Because if your dream is too far away and there are no milestones along the way, your mind will quickly get discouraged. It will say, that's too far off, I'll start later. That's why milestones matter. Small victories create momentum. Each time you hit a short-term goal, your mind feels satisfaction and progress. And with every step forward, distractions start to fade away and your focus sharpens. Whenever your attention begins to drift, your mind has a way of pulling you back and whispering, our goal isn't complete yet. And this is where real control over the mind begins. Think about it. When your energy is locked onto something that truly matters, you forget about hunger, thirst, even fatigue. Why? Because the clarity of the goal sharpens your focus so intensely that everything else fades away. Now imagine what could happen if this level of focus became your daily habit. Your entire life could transform into the vision you once thought was only possible in your dreams. What's the biggest mental illness of our time? Overthinking, anxiety, constant distraction. And the antidote to all of these? A clear goal. When you set a goal, your mind becomes disciplined almost automatically. All the little things that once wasted your time start to look meaningless. Your mind keeps pulling you back to what really matters. This isn't magic, it's the science of directing your mental energy. Think of it like this. If a tiny magnet can attract a steel needle, how much more power can a strong, crystal-clear goal have in pulling your restless mind toward it? The wandering mind, once scattered in every direction, slowly begins to align with that magnetic pull. The Buddha once said that the mind is fickle and restless, but when mastered, it can transform from your greatest enemy into your most loyal friend. That's why we started with 2 practices, positive self-talk and goal setting. Together they retrain your mind, teaching it a new rhythm, one of clarity, direction, and enthusiasm. If you want your mind to finally listen to you, you must first give it a destination. Show it where to go, and you'll be amazed to see how it begins clearing its own path forward. This is the moment when the journey toward true self-mastery begins. Now here's something fascinating. The mind becomes most restless not when we're busy, but when we have no plan for our time. When we keep postponing, pushing tasks to later, our days turn into endless chaos. We run around feeling busy, yet deep inside there's no peace. The real problem isn't time itself, it's the way we manage it. And that leads us to the third powerful method for mastering the mind: time management. In today's world, Being busy has become a trend, almost a badge of honor. But being busy is not the same as managing your busyness. If you're rushing through dozens of tasks all day, collapsing into bed exhausted, and still ending the day disappointed with yourself, then the truth is, you're not managing time. Time is managing you. And when time starts driving us instead of the other way around, the mind inevitably becomes restless, worried, and drained. Our brains are at their best when they know exactly what the next step island. The mind craves structure, and that structure comes from good time management. When you assign a clear time for every important task, when you know not just what to do but when to do it, your mind settles. It finds peace in the order you've given it. Because once the mind realizes that nothing is spinning out of control anymore, it relaxes. That's the real magic of time management. It isn't just about staring at the clock. It's both a science and an art. And above all, it's a daily practice. Master it, and you don't just control your schedule, you control your day, your life, your destiny, and ultimately, your mind. Modern psychology tells us that when we plan our day and stick to it, the brain rewards us by releasing dopamine, the same chemical we feel when we accomplish something meaningful. In other words, if you set a routine in the morning and follow it through by the evening, your brain gives you the satisfaction of success. That sense of accomplishment builds confidence, reduces anxiety, and calms the restless mind. Even ancient wisdom understood this truth. In the Vedas, time itself is described as the greatest teacher, the most powerful force. For those who learn to move in harmony with time, no goal remains out of reach. Gautama Buddha also emphasized its value. He once said, "The person who doesn't waste even a single moment lives life to the fullest." According to Buddha, true peace is only possible when we remain fully aware of each moment and use it wisely. And he taught something else even more profound. Do not worry about the future. Do not dwell in regrets of the past. Live in the present moment, for that is where life truly exists. This is exactly what time management teaches us, the art of focusing on the present. By scheduling our tasks, we protect the mind from being consumed by needless worries. We prevent it from wandering down the alleys of the past or getting trapped in the uncertainty of the future. Instead, the mind learns to pause, awaken, and take charge. In our modern world, when someone says, "I don't have time," what they really mean is, "I haven't learned the art of setting priorities." Because the truth is, every single person has the same 24 hours. The difference lies in how they use them. Some invest those hours in building their dreams, while others waste them in procrastination and idleness. Psychologists have found that when a person divides their work into structured time blocks, their decision-making ability and self-control can increase by up to 35%. That means proper time management doesn't just help you get things done, it boosts your confidence, strengthens your discipline, and brings greater stability to the mind. Now imagine this: every morning you wake up with just one thought. Today is mine. I will live it so that by nightfall I go to bed satisfied, not drained. How would your life change if you lived each day like that? Slowly, you'd begin to notice that your mind is no longer wild and uncontrollable. The endless noise of thought starts to fade, replaced by clarity, peace, and power. A deeper clarity begins to emerge when you manage your time well. In fact, time management is like making a sacred promise to yourself. My life is precious, and I will not waste it. When that promise becomes strong inside you, your mind naturally follows. It starts falling under your control. So, if you truly want a calm and stable mind, restructure your daily routine. Treat every hour as valuable. And most importantly, develop the habit of living each moment with full awareness and depth. Because when the mind notices that you are respecting time, it begins to respect you in return. Now, friends, let me ask you this. Did you know there is a power within you that once awakened can dissolve fear completely? A power so strong that worry, confusion, and self-doubt simply can't survive in its presence. Sadly, in today's business world, most of us have lost touch with that power. Our minds have become like restless winds, sometimes trapped in regrets of the past, other times drowning in fears of the future. And this constant wandering is the root cause of so many modern struggles: mental unrest, sleepless nights, loneliness, and lack of confidence. That's why the fourth method of mastering the mind is meditation. And let me be clear, meditation is not a trend. It's not a Western invention. It's not even just a practice. It is the doorway to your soul, the bridge that leads you back to your truest self. Just a few minutes of meditation each day can redirect the entire course of your life. That's not exaggeration, that's truth. Both science and ancient wisdom confirm it. Here's what happens when you meditate first. The mind becomes still. The monkey mind that was jumping from one thought to another finally settles down, and only in stillness can you see your thoughts clearly. That clarity itself is the solution to most of your problems, because in reality, confusion is often more painful than the problem itself, and confusion disappears the moment clarity arises. Modern psychology backs this up. Studies show that when a person meditates for even 10 to 15 minutes a day, the amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for fear and anxiety, actually begins to shrink. As a result, emotional balance improves dramatically. What once triggered your anger may now bring only a smile. What once stole your sleep may now guide you into deep, peaceful rest. Meditation isn't a performance. It's not something you do for show. It's an inner process, and its power comes only with sincerity and consistency. Just as physical exercise is essential for the body, meditation is essential for the mind. It isn't optional, it's the foundation of mental hygiene. So pause for a moment. Look within yourself. Try spending just a few minutes alone without noise, without distractions, without the constant pull of the outside world. That's where your true power begins. Did you know that when you go deep into meditation, something profound happens? You don't just observe your thoughts, you realize you are not your thoughts. You are the silent witness, the observer, simply watching every thought rise and fall like waves on the ocean. The Buddha described meditation as the very essence of life. He taught that meditation is the only way to extinguish the inner fire of suffering. For years he sat in silence studying the nature of his own thoughts, and from that deep understanding he revealed a timeless truth. Our suffering is not caused by the world outside, but by the instability of our own mind. And the only way to conquer this enemy is through meditation. According to Buddha, meditation makes you a witness, and once you become a witness, you can look at your fear, your anger, even your pain from a distance. That distance itself is the beginning of freedom. Think about how much time we waste each day scrolling endlessly on our phones, watching television, engaging in empty conversations. What if we gave just 15 minutes of that time back to ourselves, to our mind? Imagine how drastically life could change. And here's the beautiful truth: meditation doesn't require a sacred temple or complicated rituals. All you need is a quiet space and a genuine desire to know yourself. You can close your eyes and focus on your breath. You can silently repeat a mantra like Om, or you can simply sit in silence. The technique may vary, but the outcome is always the same: peace, clarity, and inner strength. Meditation teaches us that peace isn't something we have to chase outside, it's already within us. Meditation teaches us that no one else can hand us the solution, we must find it ourselves. And meditation reminds us that until we learn to master our own mind, no amount of money, success, or relationships will ever bring complete fulfillment. But perhaps the most important truth is this: meditation is not a one-time experiment. It's a lifelong journey. With each step on this path, you begin to discover who you truly are. You start to realize that you are not just a body, not just a name, not just a fleeting identity. You are pure awareness, pure power. And when this realization blossoms within you, controlling the mind no longer feels like a struggle. Fear dissolves. worry disappears, and a new voice rises from deep within, whispering, "Now you are free." And from here, our journey continues to the next method, a path that will guide us to recognize this pure consciousness even more deeply. Because when life overwhelms us, when the noise of thoughts drowns out our inner voice, every one of us begins searching for the same thing, true mental peace. So, how do we escape this restlessness? How do we bring balance back into our lives? That's what brings us to the fifth and final method of mastering the mind. On the surface, it looks simple, but hidden within it is extraordinary power. That method is physical exercise, regular movement of the body. Now you might wonder, what's so special about this? Can exercise really calm the mind? The answer is yes, and not just in theory. Science, ancient wisdom, and lived experience all confirm it. First, understand how deeply connected your body and mind truly are. A change in the body always impacts the mind, and whatever happens in the mind leaves its imprint on the body. That's why you cannot hope to control your mind if you ignore your body. Modern science proves this whenever we exercise, whether it's brisk walking, yoga, running, or even playing a sport. Our brain releases endorphins, the feel-good hormones. These chemicals reduce stress, lift your mood, and bring calm to the restless mind. This is why people who move their bodies daily are more stable, more centered, and more positive. Ancient knowledge also emphasized this. The Vedas and Upanishads describe the body as the first and most important tool for living a meaningful life. Only when the body is healthy can the mind remain disciplined and the higher goals of life be reached. Even Gautama Buddha valued this truth. Alongside meditation and teachings, he guided his disciples to walk regularly, stay active, and care for their bodies. His greatest message was balance: neither exhaust the body to the point of collapse, nor pamper it with so much rest that it grows weak. True mastery lies in balance. Think about it. When you're stressed or angry, how does your body respond? Your breath becomes shallow, muscles tighten, sleep disappears, even your digestion suffers. These are signs that the mind is out of harmony. But when you exercise, everything changes. Breathing deepens energy, rises, sleep improves, and the mind feels light again. And here's the deeper secret. When you exercise, you naturally reconnect with your body. You anchor yourself in the present moment. That presence, being here and now, is the very foundation of meditation. So daily exercise isn't just physical, it's spiritual. With each step, each stretch, you're also training your mind to be still. And remember, exercise doesn't have to mean lifting heavy weights at the gym. It can be woven into your everyday life: a morning walk, Surya Namaskar, simple yogic postures, or even working in the garden. The question isn't what you do, but how consistently and how wholeheartedly you do it. Because every time you strengthen your body, you are silently strengthening your mind as well. Mastering the mind is never a one-day job. It's a lifelong journey, a path of self-discovery, discipline, and awakening the power within. As you learn to understand your thoughts and guide them, you will feel a new peace, clarity, and energy flowing into your life. So start small, but start today. Meditate. Breathe consciously. Observe your thoughts. Move your body. Give yourself just a few minutes each day to reconnect with who you really are. 1 day, 2 days, a week. And soon you'll begin to notice the quiet within, the silence that was always there, hidden beneath the noise of the world. And never forget, victory over the mind is the greatest victory of all. If this message resonated with you, if you learned something, or if it touched your heart, please like this video, share it with your loved ones, and subscribe to our channel. Every single subscription inspires us to bring you even deeper wisdom and more meaningful content. Our mission isn't just to create videos, it's to bring real positive change into your life. So, join us on this journey of self-mastery. In the next video, we'll explore a topic that has the power to brighten every corner of your life. Thank you for watching. Stay calm, stay aware, and never stop recognizing the power within you.